Hello, hi, welcome to Vintage Club 31. You can't see me, but I'm here somewhere in the background. I'll come on in a moment. But just before I do, we've got some little seasonal, festive, winter bell type things ringing. Listen to them and enjoy them. We're getting into the festive season. Some of you, depending on the part of the world you are, getting into the winter wonderland as well. I noticed that somebody from Canada saying they've had lots of snow and it's a real winter wonderland. So good on you if that's you. There's a couple of things to mention, but one of the most important is something that Fanny has just shared. If you look up in the comments, I'll mention this again later, there is a link that Fanny has shared, and it's going to be a prize draw for a giveaway for one of the JustinGuitar Christmas sweaters. This is just a thank you for all the loyal people who've come along, supported the clubs throughout the year, well, throughout the several years that we've been doing them. So please go up now before we get started. Look for that link that Fanny has shared. It's a MailChimp link, so you know what you're looking for. And all it's asking for is your email address and your name. Sign up, get in the giveaway prize draw, and you may have one of these lovely Christmas jumpers from Justin coming your way very soon. Who knows? You know, you've got to be in it to try and win it, haven't you? So please do that now before we actually get started proper, which we're going to do any moment because it is 7 o'clock. So let me just stop those sleigh bells from ringing. Let me go to the comments. And the first thing I'm going to do is bring myself in. Hopefully you can see me okay. Yep, there I am. Right, hello, welcome one and all to this festive vintage club. It happens to be number 31, but hey, you know, numbers become meaningless unless there is a specific number coming along. So we haven't got a big important number for a while to come yet. It's the festive version. So I was going to do a fingerstyle version of a seasonal song, because we've done some fingerstyle vintage clubs recently, and I thought it would be a nice accompaniment to follow on. But then somebody kindly said, Justin's done a lesson on that. It's about 15 years old. I'd forgotten all about it, but it's a good one. So for Auld Lang Syne, I've chosen not to do that because there's no point reinventing the wheel. So instead of that, I'm going to do, as you saw, the song Let It Snow. Maybe the most famous version is Dean Martin, and that's what I'm taking inspiration from. Many other people, of course, have done it. It goes back to the 1940s. This was first written. So us vintage people may not quite remember it, but you know, maybe some of you are in with a shout of being nearly there. Okay, first thing, sound check. Hopefully my voice is coming through loud and clear. You've just had the sleigh bells ringing. Let me know if that volume on that was too loud or too quiet. I don't want to deafen you with any sort of sound effects that I might throw your way. But equally, that sleigh bell sound that you heard, that rhythm and the tempo it was playing at, is something we're going to use, and I'm going to ask you to play along with it. So you need to have it at the volume where you can hear it and play your guitar and still hear both. And then, of course, let me know if the sound of my guitar is decently balanced in your ears and also with my voice. And if we are, then we're good to go. And while those comments are coming in, I've just put also a link in the comments there for the resources. If you haven't yet seen it, I've shared it on the community and the WhatsApp group. There are resources to go with this, but if you want them open right now, so you can look at them and switch between them, then go to that link. In fact, I'll put it in again as I speak. I think I've still got it in my paste. Yeah, so There, right, I've just literally put in the link. That is where you will find the shared resources. There's the preview material. Well, you don't really need that now, but the main thing is the resources, which are going to be basically what you see on screen from me. So let's get there, shall we? Let's go look and see at what is going to be happening. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Right, first thing, I'm going to put this on, just because I like it. There we go. This is, I've transcribed a piano adaptation of the Dean Martin intro, which is actually orchestral instruments, and I think maybe some flutes or clarinets play this part. This is just a keyboard version. But later in the session, we're going to have a little look, if we get time, for those who are feeling up for a challenge, of a way of playing a simplified version of this on guitar. Looking forward to that. I'll give you a sneak preview. Something like that. Okay, so we can do that later, but the main thing we want to get started with is what's the main stuff of the song? Something that you can play and you and friends and neighbours and loved ones and family and everybody can sing along with as you're doing your festive stuff. Right, okay. So we're going to play a simplified version. You know, I think the orchestral Dean Martin version, it's got all sorts of chord movements in there that we're not going to really go with. Having said that, I haven't simplified it overly. So if you're a fairly raw beginner, like grade 1-ish, grade 2 maybe beginner, there might be some chords that you're less familiar with, so we've got alternatives for you. We're going to play it at a very modest tempo. I've put 100 BPM there, but even for learning it, we'll probably go much slower initially. And crucially, it's swing. It's got a swing rhythm, so it's not straight rhythm time. It's not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to develop the idea of a little bit of swing, and that's what we're going to look at here. So this is just a visual thing, but I'm going to also demonstrate it and play it, and hopefully you'll hear the difference. Up on the top row there, that's straight eighths. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. It's a bar of music split into quarters, but the quarters are split into 2 equal parts also. So we call it eighths, and that's what you generally play in most of the musics that you'll learn in the first instance, where the 1, 2, 3, 4 are down and the ands are up. So if I just go with a C chord, I'm going for that because we're going to be in the key of C, so get used to it. That would be something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's completely regular and consistent. You could stick a metronome on that and it would be doing the same thing. Whereas the swing eighths, the visual that I've got on there, I hope you can see that the second of each of the hits of the quarter beat is pushed a little bit later on in the bar. There's a little horizontal with a 3 up there because this is based on this idea of triplets, where a quarter is actually split into 3 equal parts. You play the first of those and the last of those, missing out the middle. So the first time you play on the counted beat, like say 1, that lasts for 2/3 of a triplet, and what was the and, but can still be called an and, but quite often is called an just happens a little bit later than an eighth would. So that would sound a bit like this. I'll say instead of and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got that swagger, that swing, it bounces along, and we're looking for something that bounces along here. It's a fun song. So the difference between the two, I'll play straight then I'll play swing, I'll play straight, and I'll play swing, and hopefully you can hear and detect the difference. And then you're going to try this yourself, because those sleigh bells are swing rhythm at 100 BPM. So I'm going to be quiet in a moment and let you just play along with that rhythm. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so either play with a chord, or if you want, just go with the muted, the percussive sound. I want you to play along with these sleigh bells. Like I said, these are at 60 BPM. Oh, I didn't check comments, sorry. Were they loud enough? The piano is a bit loud. What about the sleigh bells? Are the sleigh bells going to be all right? If the piano was loud, I'm thinking the sleigh bells might... Well, you're going to be playing guitar. We'll see. Here we go. Just try and play along and get this idea of the swing feel of these eighths. So there'll be a little bit of a counting, and then it's just going to loop around. So I'll let it go for a couple of minutes. I'm turning it up actually, because it seemed quiet. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3. Count along if it helps you. It's always a useful thing to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you're feeling it. You're starting to dance, your body, your foot, your head, you're rocking about. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to pause that and just move along a bit. Somebody's saying no sound here except for my voice. Okay, if other people had the same, then this is what I'm going to do, is play it myself. So play along with me. Hopefully you'll hear this one then. I'm going to go muted, so I haven't got a chord, so you can choose whichever one you go with. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You should be counting yourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, Okay, the same person says there were sleigh bells, so think all sound was there. Okay, yeah, it was sleigh bells. You were playing along with sleigh bells, not me, but that was me just said. Right, okay, let's move along then. So hopefully you've got the swing, rhythm, groove happening. Let's look at the chords that we need. This was on the preview materials. This is on the resources that I've just linked to. So, you know, if I move away from this page, open that and you can go to it if and when you need it, if you need it. These are in alphabetical order. They're not in the order that are going to appear in the song. A minor. So just a beginner chord. Nice. C. Some of you maybe in the new beginner stages are finding that's a stretchy chord, but hey, I'm afraid we need it because we're in the key of C. It's home base. D minor. Oh, maybe you've not learnt many songs with a D minor chord. Yikes. Some of you will use ring finger there on that 3rd fret, 2nd string. Some of you will use little finger there. For the purposes of today, well, there is a slight advantage to ring finger, but honestly, whichever one works best for you. G major, now I've shown up there the chord diagram for like the regular one that is in the early stages of beginner course. And you might want to go with fingers 1, 2, 3. Alternatively, you might go with the stuck 3 and 4 grip, all 4 fingers. Or you might want to go with weak fingered G, where the 5th string is actually not really even played, it's muted by the ring finger. Again, there are pros and cons to each one depending on the chord you're going to or the chord you're arriving from. And then we come to these dominant 7 chords. Now, maybe some of you have never come across a dominant 7 at all. Maybe some of you have never come across a song with more than 1. Here we've got 4 of them. Strange. I'm going to talk about this later. A7. It's just like an A chord, but you don't need your middle of the 3 fingers pressing down. There's a gap between the fingers on strings 4 and 2. But if you want to just play A major, go for it. It's going to work. D7. It's like a back to front D almost, in inverted triangle. But again, if you're not quite familiar with it, play D major. It will work. E7. Well, that's fairly straightforward. It's like an E chord, but you lift your ring finger. But again, E major will work. And then G7, G major will work. The first time that we get to G7 is from a C chord. So maybe try that now. Make a C chord, and then all you need to do is move your 1st finger over to the 1st string and then hop fingers 2 and 3 across. So it's like you're widening the grip of a C chord, but it holds a similar form. C to G7. Okay, but like I said, all of those dominant 7 chords, whenever you see them come up, if you're not quite positive you're going to make it, the most important thing is to make a chord that maintains your rhythm. And if that's the major version of the 7, then go for the major chord instead. Just while I've come back to full screen then, let me show you that. So C to G7, look how I just have to widen my grip. Okay, and I said that's the first time we meet the G7, and it happens in the very first bar of the song. So what I want us to do is just practice that before we go into the full chord progression. And we're playing a half a bar on each. They both happen in the same bar. So it would be beat 1 is the C chord to start. Beat 3 is the G7 chord, or just G if you're going to play that. And with the swing rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G7, like this. C, G7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a little note on making the strumming something more varied, dynamic. You can bring different techniques in here. You could do what I call thicky thinny, where the down strums are thick and the up strums are thin. Like that. Or even you could play on beat 1 only and beat 3 only, like the root note, the bass note for the root of the chord, and then do the strumming after that. And this thing I'm saying about the bounce, the swing rhythm, the bounce is long. That kind of adds to it a little bit. So if you've got that in your locker, bring that skill out and apply it to this. The technique will work just fine. Otherwise, just strum it through with the swing rhythm. Right, shall we look at the chord progression? Hopefully you're all good with what we've done so far. Right. The chord progression for the verse. Right, okay. There is a little bit of a pattern going on. We've got 8 bars here. So look at the first set of 3 pairs of bars as something similar. Each of them is split into 2 equal parts, shared with 2 chords. And the second of those is where we have the dominant 7. And then that is followed by just a full bar of a chord. So we've got C for half a bar, G7, dominant 7 for half a bar, then back to a full bar of C. It continues with C for half a bar, D7 for half a bar, and then a full bar on G. And then the awkward bit, D minor for half a bar, A7 for half a bar, back to another full bar of the chord, and it's D minor here. And then it only changes that pattern at the very end with the last 2, a full bar on G and a full bar on C. Now that full bar on C at the end, you can play it as we've been playing it, 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to throw in a little bit of a variation there. Is when I get to beat 3, I do a down strum and I let it ring out like this. 1, 2, 3. I think it just kind of leads in. It gives a moment of breath, a pause, an anticipation before the next verse comes in. So we're going to take it in small chunks, 2 bars at a time, C to G7 and back to C, then we'll pause. And I'll do it a few times. This one should be easier because we've just been practicing it. I'll take a little bit more time on the more tricky one that we haven't done yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G7, C. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G7, C. Okay, we're going to move straight on to the next, which is C, D7, and then G. Now make that G grip any way you want. When you're coming off a D7 chord, I'll just go there. When you're coming off a D7 chord there, you might think, well, look, my ring finger's already on that first string. I'll just slide it along and go for this one. It works, doesn't it? Or you might think, I'll go for the big 4-finger one. Or you might just go to whichever one you prefer. It doesn't really matter. Don't let that be an obstacle. It's C, D7. I'm going to go for weak finger Gs, just my habit. Let me bring that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D7, G. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D7, G. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D7, G. Okay, we're going to do the entire top row. And I want to turn it into a loop with no pauses. So after we've done that G for a full bar, we're back to the beginning of the top row, C, G7, C again. Hopefully that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G7, C, C, D7, G. Back to the beginning, C, G7, C, C, D7, G. We'll do that again. C, G7, C, C, D7, G. Okay, let's tackle this thing that's lying up ahead, waiting to trip us up. D minor to A7 to D minor. This is when the lyric says, and since there's no place to go. Now, you've got an advantage if you go with your ring finger on that D minor, because that can become an anchor finger for A7 or A. All you need to do is slide it back a fret. There's A7. D minor, A7. Ring finger at fret 3 for D minor. Ring finger at fret 2 for A7. I put this out as you know, I put all of the chord changes out in the preview material. So hopefully anybody who looked at that one and thought, I'm going to have to nail it for tonight, for this live session. Hopefully you've been working on D minor, A7, because that's what we've got going on. It's half a bar on D minor, half a bar on A7, and then a full bar on D minor again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I stopped on 3, sorry, I should have kept going. 1, 2, 3, 4, D minor, A7, D minor. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, D minor, A7, and then D minor. After this, it's plain sailing. Do you remember what it is? Hopefully, if not, it's coming back up. It's plain sailing. You're going from D minor to a G. Now, okay, I was talking about this a moment ago. When you were going from D7, which I'm not playing, there, that's a D7. When you're going from that one to a G, you might just go for that. But when you're going from a D minor, it might make sense in this circumstance to keep your ring finger down as an anchor and go with the stuck 3/4 version. It's economical in terms of chord and hand movement. Although then you've got to get to C, but you could do C add 9, I suppose. I haven't written C add 9, but you could. Right, so we're going to do the bottom row, and we'll put it on a loop. We'll play it through 3 or 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor, A7, D minor, G, C, D minor, A7, D minor, G, C, and again, D minor, A7, D minor, G, and then to C. One more, D minor, A7, D minor, G, then to C. Okay, of course we're not going to slow down like I did there. Let's put the whole thing together. Let's see if we can get through the verse, and let's see if we can do it multiple times on a loop. I am going on the very last bar, in that bar of C, to go 1, 2, 3. And that kind of sends the signal to my brain as well that we're back up to the top and we're going from the start again. Hopefully you're ready. Hopefully this is going well. I'll leave the chord progression up and then I'll take it away and see how many of you can remember it, but following, maybe watching me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. And again. C, G7, a C chord. C, D7 to a G chord. D minor, then A7, then D minor, then to G, then to G, then to C. Last one. Okay. Right. Hey, I started kind of half, almost, nearly singing some lyrics. We'll be doing that well, you'll be doing that in a moment. I might throw in 1 or 2 here and there. I wonder if you can remember it. Shall we try it? I'll call them out as we go, but you haven't got the visual clue of following the chord progression. Some of you might fall off. We'll only do 1 time through. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, G7, C, C, D7, G, D minor, A7, D minor, G, and then C. Okay, right, let's sing. Come on, I know you want to. There's the lyric. Is that big enough on screen for you? There are 3 verses. The structure of this song is intro, verse 1, straight into verse 2. Now after verse 2, it goes into a bridge or a middle 8, I'll call it whatever you want. It is 8 bars, so it could be middle 8. After the bridge, it's then verse 3, and then it does the bridge again, and then verse 3 again, and then it just kind of sings Let It Snow all the way to the out. And the outro could be the intro, if you wanted to do it like that as well. So we'll do 2 verses, verses 1 and 2, with the lyric, shall we? You've got it there on screen. Who's going to sing, I wonder? Are you all going to sing? Don't know. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. The fire is so delightful. I messed up. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And it doesn't show signs of stopping. So I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Hey, I tell you what, I'm glad I was singing because I'm hoping it masked the fact that I missed one of my chords. Did you notice that? When you're singing, you can get away with that stuff. When you can sing with a good voice, you can get away with it even more. Okay, time for a little pause. Any questions? Put them up in the comments now. I'll try and catch them as they go past. Just a reminder though, there is a free giveaway, you lucky folks, you beautiful vintage people. I'm going to put the link in here now in case you missed it first time, if in case you joined once we got started. Here comes a link. Fanny has organised a free giveaway for vintage clubbers. All you need to do is put your email and your name in that MailChimp link that I've put up there. There's a prize draw and you can win it. A JustinGuitar Christmas jumper as designed by Babs. They're absolutely splendid. I've got one coming. It might arrive in time, who knows? I haven't got it on today though because I haven't got it yet. And the other link I want to share, where has that one gone, is to the resources. And that's coming in now as well. Bear with me a sec while I do that. And then I'll just see if we've got any questions. So on time, Jason, thank you. You did not notice. I'm presuming you mean you didn't notice that I made a chord mistake. You were too busy mumbling your own words and vocals. Good for you, you were singing. Hooray, thank you, great stuff. How many more of you were singing? Loads, I hope. Jim is saying it's always easy to play and sing when chords are written over where they fall on the right syllable in each section of a song. Ah, Jim. You were hoping to see the lyrics like underneath where the beats and everything were, instead of just a block of lyric as a verse. Boy, oh boy, have I got something special for you. Here's something I prepared earlier. Like that, you mean? This is in the resources. Would you believe it? Goodness gracious me, am I too kind to you? So we'll do it again. We'll do verse 1 and verse 2. And for those who can read that, it's tiny on my screen. I'm having to make them up as I go along. For those who can read that, who's got these massive super big screens or great eyesight, the first row under each set of chords is verse 1. So there's a little 1 at the left-hand side of each of those, if you notice. And then the second verse is the second row of each set of lyrics under the chords. Also, if you notice there, I've just put the rhythm like as eighths, so you can see where the chord changes are happening and kind of get a feel for where the chords and the syllables and the emphasis is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's go, says, who's that, Carlos? Yeah, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping. I brought some corn for popping. Lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I just noticed there that the G, the chord G, is, I've accidentally erased it, haven't I, from the penultimate bar. I hope you realised and remembered that was a G chord. Okay, right. That's verses 1 and 2, and of course verse 3 when it comes along. Sorted. Are we all good? Are we all happy to move along? That's the trickiest bit because, yeah, it's got some 7 chords in. You might not be familiar with G7. You might not be comfortable playing D minor. That's the one. You can't get away with that, really. The G7 could be a G. The A7 could be an A, but the D minor, it's got to be a D minor, really. The only The only other alternative is the one that you haven't even learned yet if you're in the beginner stages, which is a D minor 7. And that would work, but you won't have met that if D minor is a bit of a beast for you. So I haven't mentioned it, and I'm not going to dwell on it. What I am going to dwell on, because anybody who maybe knows me in the community knows that I love a bit of music theory or music knowledge. I like to kind of understand what's going on. We're in the key of C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, they're our scale degrees. And each one of those scale degrees give rise to a chord. That's great. C chord, C, D, well D, and we get the D minor from there. That's great. Oh, well, what about D7 then? The chord in the key of C should be D minor, which we do have, not D7. That's peculiar, because the chord that's in the key of C that does become a 7 is G. It's the 5 chord, and only the 5 chord truly should be a dominant 7 chord in the key. So yeah, we've got it. We go from the tonic to the 5, dominant 7, back to the tonic. That's what they do. Dominant 7 chords push you to the chord that they see as the home base for them. And it's all to do with fifths. I love the circle of fifths. So G is the 5th scale degree in the key of C. G is the 5th chord. Think of your circle of fifths. You've got C at the top, right next door clockwise, you've got G. G7 goes to C. Well, what does D7 do? D7. You're going to have to think now of like your D scale. There's some sharp, so we've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, D. Sorry, I'm doing it back to front, aren't I? I beg your pardon. Rewind. Where's the D7 taking us? This is what I should have been thinking. Where's the D7 taking us? It's taking us to G. Ah, D7, G. Is that the same thing as that we've just had? So we're going back home. D7 is saying like G is home. So the G scale, G, A, B, C, D. D is the 5th of that key. So this is acting like the 5th of that chord. The dominant to the tonic. So it's what's called a secondary dominant. Yes, it doesn't belong in the key, but it's been pushed in there for a purpose. And that purpose is to give a stronger movement towards the chord that's arriving. That's why I said a D major would do it. It has the same feeling, but maybe just a little bit less impact. So we've got secondary dominants. All these chords that we've got going on that aren't in the key are secondary dominants. Sorry if I set you off on the wrong tack, saying D major scale, it should have been G major scale, but hopefully we've got there. Right, let's look at the next bit. We are going to the bridge. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in a storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. That's that bit. Right, oh yeah, this looks easy, doesn't it? We've got 4 full bars of G and almost another 5th one, apart from it goes to G7 at the end if we are playing a 7. If you're not, you've got 5 full bars of G. Dead lucky. Right, so we're just going to go straight through this pretty much. The things to watch out for, we've got an A minor. That's going to a D7. Go into a G. There's that D7 to G thing again. But actually what's going on here is the bridge is changed key. We're now not in the key of C, we are in the key of G. So that is a proper 5 to 1 movement. And then we go to G again. And then in the key of G, the E chord should be E minor, right? But no, we're going to E7. E7 is a secondary dominant. It pushes to an A chord. It's the fifth of A. We don't go to A major unless you're playing it that way. E7 pushes to A7, which is itself a secondary dominant, because A7 pushes to D7, which is the dominant of this bit of the key, which pushes to G. And then just at the very end there, that G7 heralds the fact that for the next bit, we return to the verse, we return to the key of C. It's beautifully constructed. Okay, I'm just going to play it through and ask you to join in. Shall we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor to D7, to G, 3, 4, G, 3, 4, E7, 3, A7, D7, then G, G7. Now what I did in that last bar is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're feeling like a little bit of a tease, or you want to create some anticipation in your performance, you can leave that G7 hanging and hanging and hanging until you feel like, yeah, the verse, we're going for the next verse now. It doesn't have to be metronomic and robotic. You can add some humanity to it, can't you? And then you're into the next verse. So I like to play around with that one and just give it different durations depending on how it feels. But for the purposes of looping this, we're going to loop the bridge. We are going to play it in regular time and move from the very last moment of beat 4, the last bar, to beat 1 of the beginning again. We'll do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, D7, back to G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, E7, 2, 3, 4, A7, D7, then G, G7, G, A minor, D7, and G, G, E7, A7, D7, G. One more time, G, A minor, D7, G, G, E7, A7, D7, G. Okay, hope that's going well. Shall we do it with the lyrics? Now, we've got them like that Jim doesn't like. We'll use those first. But we've got them like that Jim does like, and we'll use those second. We'll just play it once, because it only happens like once at a time. It doesn't get a repeat until the next verse has been and gone. Get the lyrics. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm, but if you really hold me tight all the way home, I'll be warm. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm, but if you really hold me tight all the way home, I'll be warm. Hey, I wonder if you've got it in you now to do verse, bridge, verse. Shall we? But not until we've done this. I said we would. 1, 2, 3. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm, but if you really hold me tight all the way home, I'll be warm. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, yes, there's an intro. We need to look at the intro if we have time. But that's the song. You don't need more than that, really, to get it going. If you noticed, the lyrics start just before the first bar of each section. So it's in what's called a pickup bar. In the verse it was, oh, the weather. So we've got that coming in before the actual C chord on beat 1 comes in. And on the bridge as well, when we finally, they are in like a pickup. Now, because that's in the middle of the song, it comes in at the very end of the bar of the verse 2, before the bridge. Okay, let's do, or should we do it all? Why don't we do it all? I'm going to have to jump around and do some juggling of my slides here. Jumping between that thing and that thing. So I'm going to have to lay off playing just at some important moments of transitions, but I hope you can keep going and I'll join in as and when I can. Okay, here we go. Verse 1, verse 2, bridge. Verse 3, bridge. And that's going to be a good song we've put together already. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping. I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I've got a switch when we finally kiss goodnight. Where's it gone? How I hate going out in the storm. On a G, if you really hold me 7. All the way home I'll be warm. Get ready with your G7. The fire is slowly dying. My dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Back to the bridge when we finally kiss goodnight. How I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Okay, did you make it? I messed up with my slides just a tiny wee bit, and so I might have thrown your timing out, for which I apologise. But hey, there we are, we've got Let It Snow. Have we got time to look at the intro? Maybe, maybe. Anybody up for that? You don't have to. Put in the comment if you want to look at the intro, this thing. Yes, the first 2 comments are yes. Okay, right, let's go for it. Yes, please. This is in the resource. Look, if you can't follow it, because I'm going to have to do it at some speed, then it's in the resource. Hopefully you'll get it from there. You need a tiny weeny little bit of the C major scale pattern 1. So look, you're going to put your middle finger, finger 2, on the 8th fret of the first string, and a lot of it is just ascending those notes, as you can see. 8, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9, 7. But then you go back to fret 8 on the B string. You don't quite play it ascending and you don't quite play it with even notes. It's like this. Those first three notes climbing down from the root, you pause at the third one. And then that third note that you've just played, fret 10 on the B string, you play it again before making a continuation of the descent. And then you play fret 8 with the second string. You can let those last two notes ring out. So that's that bit. What's below those three grips, they're little double stop thirds. Two of them are the same grip. So you're starting with the grip at the right hand side. Ring finger on fret 9 of the third string, middle finger on fret 8. That grip moves down 2 frets. And then you need somehow to get 2 strings at the same fret. I just bar my index finger across, but maybe you need to go with 2 separate fingers. It's going to be you finding what works for you. So the way that works is twice on the first grip, the right hand side grip, frets 9 and 8. Once on the middle, once on the left, back to the middle. So that's the count for that is 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 The next section is even easier because it doesn't do a double hit on that first grip. It just plays quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those two bits together, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the scale run that we have is preceded by one more hit of that little grip at frets 9 and 8. And I've got my middle finger at fret 8 already. So to get to fret 8 on the first string, I just need to either roll it flat or hop it over from string 2 to string 1. Okay, I'm going to go full screen and play that to you and show that to you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, slower. One more time, a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how to tune that string, isn't it? But there's your intro, and this thing here is a fragment of a G chord, G being the dominant, even if it's just played as a G, not a 7, leading into the verse. So if you wanted to do that as an intro, then you can. You can also do that as an outro. If you're not going to do that as an outro, then the way to go about finishing the song off is just the let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, and go round and round with your G till you see. Let it snow, 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 let it snow. You could do something like that, just to close the whole song out. How long you want to play it for, how long you want to have people singing Let It Snow in successive turns, you know, that's going to be up to you, and how many tipples you have imbibed through the festive season. Okay, that's it. That's the song. I think that's pretty much everything you need to have a go at it, whether it's on a simple level, like I said, with very simple strumming and not 7 chords if they're an issue, or like I said, you could do the picking out the root note on the 1s and the 3s and make it bounce along. You could throw in that little intro thing that you've just seen, the tab. Well, is it tab? No, it's not really tab. Did I do tab? 1 second. Yeah, okay, there's a tab for it as well. I'd forgotten that was there. So you even get a little tab for that to help you practice and play and figure out that intro section as well. And that's it. That's a wrap. That's it for Vintage Club for 2025. It's been an absolute blast. I always love doing these. And, you know, I read the comments and getting the feedback and all of that is so wonderful. And everybody is so supportive on these. Before I go, one more mention. Have you entered the prize draw for the Christmas jumper for the Vintage Clubbers? The link's on there twice already. Let me put it in one last time before we go. And also, speaking of prize draws, tomorrow night, Lee is doing a special club. It's not the beginner club as such. He's doing like a one-off, helping people who are learning the Wish You Were Here intro, because Thursday this week is the deadline to submit an entry for the challenge for the Wish You Were Here 50-year-old anniversary that Pink Floyd have asked Justin to put something in. Mega prizes, not based on ability or technical prowess. It's based on the fact that you've had a go at learning the intro and you've submitted your entry. So upload that to the website. The links are everywhere on the website if you haven't seen them. Justin has got one more club this year as well. Is that yes, it's a theory one. It's a PMT one, let me tell you about that, because the practical music theory course that's on the website, he's developed in the process of continuing to develop a way of having that available in an app version for those who love their apps. So I think he's launching that and doing a bit of a live stream this week as well. It's all happening. It's all happening. Did you see Leaving last night? If not, catch up with his, because he's talking about your end of year goals, your checklists, and planning and looking ahead to the year coming for your guitar as you continue to improve and progress and have more fun. Okay, yeah, shall we call it a quit? I think we shall. Thank you, everybody. For those who celebrate, have the most wonderful Christmas. A happy New Year. I will see you all in 2026. Enjoy your festive season, whatever you do. Take care now. Bye-bye.